secret into the grid where the future is alive. We're talking about the Web3 revolution, energy systems and a deep net evolution. Yeah, it's a digital symphony, a decentralized energy in the world of connection. Oh, so talk is our destination. Web3 fascination. Get ready for the revolution. Here we go.
Hey, we are back. It is the 17th episode of Source Talk, the podcast where the future of energy unfolds. Source Talk is focused on Web3, DeepIn, Sourceful, and everything related. My name is Johan, and as usual, I have Joachim at my side. How are you today, Joachim?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's we are really back to work now. I mean, we've been kind of working all summer, but now it feels like kids are starting going back to school, and everybody are meeting at the office. So it's getting a bit packed in our office now. We we have two small offices in a co-working space, and it's starting to smell a bit in those offices, I can tell you. So if you plan to visit us, now is not the time to do that. However, hopefully, I mean, we're working on getting a bit larger office. But the problem with Swedish vacations is that they are long and they are kind of shutting down Sweden. So so all everybody working with like office buildings and stuff, they are just on vacation. So it's totally impossible to get something during the summer. But pretty soon, I hope we will have a better office where we can all sit together. So looking forward to that.
Still kind of encouraging sitting in the smell of an ambitious startup, though.
Yeah. You need to live that life. So
Yeah, exactly.
that we are really doing now.
Yeah, but we have a couple of topics to discuss today. Mainly a bit of recap since last podcast, but we have some new news to share as well. But we'll start with the events. One was last week, I believe, and one was both were last week, I believe. So Frederick went to Blockstart Scotland. What have we heard from Frederick?
A really good event. As usual, he's been there before. A lot of interest in the energy sector, as we can see in. I mean, the DeepIn space is getting a lot of interest, and inside of the DeepIn, we think that energy is like having the most energy right now. So it's pretty exciting. That was the same feeling Frederick got in Scotland. He had a talk about the DeepIn in general, helium and energy, and the energy sector, and why what we are trying to do is important. So I know it was recorded. I haven't seen any recording yet, but I mean, stay tuned. Subscribe on Twitter on our Sourceful account, and you will get it as soon as it's posted online.
Yeah, and we will also share it on Discord as usual. Blockstart isn't necessarily, though, our primary venue for these kinds of things, right? It's not necessarily a DeepIn.
No, exactly. Blockstart is a broader conference around cryptocurrency or decentralized networks and things like that. So I think Frederick also focused a bit about like presenting DeepIn, the DeepIn approach. So yeah.
Yeah, basically, I mean, enlightening people on what we do and how we can affect their space and things like that. So it's actually a very good event to attend. So yeah, we will share any content shared from that on our Discord and our Twitter. And then we had DeepIn Summit, which Victor and Frederick attended 3 days ago.
Yeah. In New York, it was an invitation only event, I think, with a lot of investors and other DeepIn projects in the space. Many of whom we have met before. It's kind of like clear now which projects are in this space, especially the energy projects. So a lot of interesting meetings. I think Arcgreen was there, PowerPod was there. I think Daylight wasn't represented on stage. They were having an online, but I'm forgetting the project, all the projects, but a lot of projects in the energy sector, and it was really hot topic discussing energy. I think Frederick and Scott, that is the CEO of Helium Foundation, was on stage on a panel, and but I haven't seen anything online on that either. But it was an interesting event. Pretty crowded in New York this time of year, so the sightseeing and things like that was a bit harder this time. But I think it was a really nice weekend. A lot
Yeah,
of
from what
travel
I've
for
heard.
Frederick and others. So yeah.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, a lot of good new contacts, a lot of good mingling, spreading the word of Sourceful as usual. So
Yeah.
that's always good. And I'm not sure actually that there will be any content released from that event. Maybe articles or things like that, but not recorded.
Probably not.
And that leads us up to, I'm guessing, one of the major things this year, coming up pretty soon, actually. Breakpoint.
Yeah, that's the next. I know that Frederick has something else in between, but I think it's the next major thing. It's Token 2049 in Singapore, and also Breakpoint following Token 2049. It's end of September. We will be there. The whole team, or at least the co-founding team, will be there. Starting with Token 2049, I know that Frederick and Tobias will attend that. And then the whole team will attend Breakpoint following that. So an exciting weekend. Not really sure what we will focus on. I mean, much depending on the HIP voting for Helium. I mean, if that vote is approved, and then we will probably focus on showing a roadmap and trying to like get the hype started around the Helium Energy project. If it's not approved, then we will work still as a Sourceful. Of course, we will do that anyway because we will only be a service provider at the Helium Energy network. But we will continue with the Sourceful saga. So I mean, there will be slight differences as how we plan that event, but hopefully we will do that together with Helium in one way or another. Yeah, so speaking about the Helium Foundation, I know they are planning a side event for those of you attending Breakpoint. There will be a side event, I think it's Wednesday, that Helium is hosting. I have no more details than that, but the suggested day is the Wednesday at least. We will be there if it's if the event is happening, we will be there. So then you can meet us there. And I also know that there is a special DPIN side event that is being planned, I think, around the Thursday evening or afternoon, something like that. But I have no more details on that yet. It's just in the planning stage. But as soon as we know, we will start posting about that. And then Sourceful will also be there, of course, and we'll probably be co-hosting that event.
More
Yeah.
information to be disclosed.
Yep.
But
Yep.
as I said, as soon as we know, we'll let everyone else know as well.
Yep.
And for those attending, keep an eye out for the Sourceful shirts and caps, I believe.
Yeah, we will try to start producing a lot of merch. Not a lot, but a bit of merch. So there will be stickers, of course. We will have the limited edition QDFS stickers that we started with in Hong Kong, and we will have a special edition for Singapore. That is actually pretty nice, I must say. So look out for that one.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. Follow the stickers.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, so should we, I mean, that is things that is happening for the team. If we leave that for a minute and start focusing on the important things like firmware, because we have an upcoming firmware release, right? Tomorrow?
tomorrow, 14th of August. And we previously said actually that the focus for this firmware was multiple distributed energy resources. That has been postponed a little bit due to summer and vacation and things like that. But it's still on the, I'm guessing, immediate roadmap. So it's not going to take super long for it to be implemented. But this firmware comes with a lot of bug fixes and stability things as per usual. And I believe also support for DEA inverters is due for tomorrow as well. We have a couple of days already, but the onboarding process and connection to the inverter is a bit tedious right now because we have to do it manually. So hopefully that will work automatically from tomorrow. And also, speaking of firmwares, the next iteration, 0.14, we will make it a lot easier to choose your inverter, actually. Because right now we're storing the IP, but in the upcoming firmware, we're actually going to store the MAC address instead. So if you have a proxy, there won't be any issues if any of them changes IP or things like that. So I'm actually looking really forward to that because that's going to ensure stability for our users, especially with reconnections and dropped connections and things like that.
Yeah, but I've seen that there has been a couple of days now where new inverters has been coming online in the Explorer, so that's pretty nice. And we can also say regarding that I mean, we have gotten a lot of questions of the availability of gateways to get an energy gateway as the Solaris batch to try it out, and people go to the Rock website and it's sold out. It is still on hold. We will, as we said last time, we will focus on dual mining, so being able to use the regular Rock Helium version 2 hotspots to also dual mine source token. That will be the next big thing. And I think you have some announcements there, Joachim, regarding that. If I'm interested in participating, I might have a gateway, or I'm willing to buy a hotspot, a Helium hotspot. How can I participate in this beta program?
First of all, you'll have to sign up for the in the application form, which we have shared on both Discord and Twitter. We should also share it on LinkedIn, actually. After that, we'll go through the application continuously. So I think we're going to start this week. We've had quite a few, actually, who's already applied. But the application form, the ETA for how long it will be open is throughout August right now. I'm guessing that depends also on how many that actually applies. If we get 4,000 applications within a week, I mean, we're not going to be able to handle that anyway. But after that, we will send you an email to the email that you provided in the application form with installation instructions and things like that. And as of right now, the ETA for the beta start is in October.
Good. So still plenty of time to sign up and get yourself a Helium IoT gateway, because even if you're not being even if you're not admitted for the beta program, I mean, having the Rock hotspot mining IoT, if we get the vote approved for the HIP, you will sometime in the future be able to dual mine on that one. So the beta program is just to try everything out, so that it works as expected.
And as we said previously, yeah, you're first.
Yeah, we've also gotten a lot of questions about, oh, but how about my old Bobcats or other manufacturers? What's the plan there?
It's pretty much up to the manufacturer to provide the firmware. So we can't really do anything unless the gateway provider or manufacturer are willing to provide the firmware from their side.
Yeah, and that I would say will be first when the network is live. That so don't count on that for the beta program. The beta program will probably be totally exclusive with Rock Wireless.
And speaking of gateways, our old gateways, the non-dual mining ones from Rock or the pre-assembled ones that we've sold previously, will still be supported. So there's no need worrying about that. So we won't make anyone buy a Helium miner, unless they want to, and we still encourage people to.
Yeah. So there has been we have done a beta program payout. We have done a bit of changing in that program. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Joachim?
So like we said in the previous podcast, we have changed the tokenomics for the beta program that we're running right now. So instead of a flat rate of 500,000 source tokens, we have changed that to scale with your gateway's uptime. We've also now we have a definite pool of tokens that we distribute across the beta testers. And right now there hasn't been. You get nearly or a bit more than half of what you got before, so it's still a lot of tokens. I mean, you can tell us a little bit more about that because you've worked with the tokenomics, but why
it's
have
basically it's basically to align with our tokenomic in total, so that I mean, beta testers should be awarded well, but it cannot be like extreme. So we are trying to balance this. That's basically it. So it's still really profitable, hopefully, to be a beta tester in the program. That's the goal, at least. And I mean, when new beta programs comes on, they will still share this 10 million monthly tokens. The thing is that now we transitioned to DevNet to be able to try things in a more we want to experiment a bit, and now it's time for us to automate things. So it's been a manual process right up until this last week. That was kind of a semi-automatic process. However, there were some issues with too many zeros in one of the programs. So that made it so that too many tokens were issued. Now it's on DevNet. It's easier to just deprecate that particular token, start a new one. So that's basically what we're doing now. We also have offline records of every gateway and how much they have earned. So even if we were just to start over, we can always recreate from that offline files. So next step for us is basically to start emitting automatically and daily. That's like the plan. So every day we will emit tokens. Tobias is working on that right now. Not sure when that will go live, but you will probably see it in your wallet. And remember, if you want to see the new DevNet tokens, you need to go into settings and enable developer mode. Then you will find your tokens there. Yeah.
And make sure to have the Solana DevNet selected, because there's testnet as well. But these are on DevNet.
On DevNet, and then sometimes I just say testnet because it's kind of the testnet for us. But it's DevNet.
But right now, as we do this monthly still, you can see our distribution schedule in our documentation, because we will still abide by that until we do it daily.
Yeah, and even if we do it daily, it will still meet the 10 million mark every month. That's the plan, at least. Okay, that's that. Yeah, maybe we should talk a little bit about the HIP as well, the Helium improvement proposal that we posted probably feels like it's 2 months ago, but it probably isn't, but like 6 or 7 weeks ago. It's been a lot of discussions, a lot of good feedback from the Helium community. We have done a lot of changes from tokenomics to simplifying things. Was also an outcome of a big workshop we had together with the Helium Foundation that, I mean, we will try to emit as much as possible and not have different kind of pools with tokens in them, because that complicates things a lot. So there will be direct emissions. So that has been reworked, and I actually think that the vote, because that's how it works in the Helium community, that the community will be able to vote on this proposal and approve it or deny it. And I think I mean, the big decision here for the Helium community, I think, is, are we going to let new networks enter the Helium community, or should it just be like wireless? So I think that's the question that the community will answer. If you want to help answer that question, you can all participate in the vote, and you do that by having HNT tokens, Helium tokens, and for each Helium token you have one vote. But then you can, and you need to stake those tokens in the Helium app, but you can stake them for a very short period and just do the vote, or you can stake them for a longer period. And I think the lockup is from everything from, like, I don't remember, a few days up till 4 years, I think. And if you lock them up, the longer you lock them up, the more voting power you will have. So I think it's like a factor of 100 or something like that. So if you have one token and lock it for 4 years, you will have 100 votes. And that I like that model. It makes sense, because if you lock them up for a long time, then you're really devoted to the network, and then you get a bigger vote, basically. Not sure when the vote will open. I'm not sure how long the vote will be open, but I guess like at least a few days, maybe a week. And I think it's pretty soon. Today, when we are recording this, is August the 13th. Could open today, could open tomorrow, could open any day now, I would say. So stay tuned. Gather some HNT tokens. If you have Solana, you can easily swap to Solana to HNT, participate in the vote, and if you like, you can swap them back later. And yeah, so I would encourage everybody to at least, I mean, even if you vote with like one HNT, I think it's a good education, and it's a good like learning experience to see how that system works, because I mean, the governance model is pretty solid. So go do that, um, everybody, and vote like you want. I mean, if you don't think it's a good idea to go with Helium, then vote against. I mean, it's
That's
your
what the
vote.
vote's for.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we talked a little bit about another topic just before we started this podcast, and I'm guessing that is our wrap up. But you had some insights on what's going on.
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, what we are seeing now on all the events Frederick and others are attending, and a lot of feedback we get, and a lot of emails, and a lot of Telegram groups being formed and things like that. There is a lot of collaboration going on in this space. I mean, the energy sector is a big space, but the deep in energy sector is a really small sector yet, but hopefully expanding. And of course, we are really open for different kinds of collaborations, and we have a lot of interesting partners that we are trying to kind of like team up with and see how can we integrate their product into the Srcful ecosystem and vice versa. How can we all like help growing the pie all together? So we really encourage that if you have an interesting project, you see that, oh, there might be a good collaboration here, please contact us. We will try to make it happen. We are just in a kind of a chaotic transition phase right now. I've said it before, we are all quitting our ordinary daytime jobs and going 100% Srcful, the whole team is. However, I mean, everybody has different agreements with their former employers of how long the leave is. So I would say that 50% of us has started now, full-time Srcful, and the rest 50% over the coming month. So we are transitioning into building the company as well. And I mean, that comes with these challenges as well. And we might even need to expand the team in the future. So with that said, right of now it's a lot of messaging going back and forth, but seek contact with us if you're interested. We will do our best to answer all incoming contacts.
And stay tuned for a lot of more functionality, both in the app and the firmware and things like that, because now it's going to be, things are going to happen a lot quicker now that the whole team has gone full time or is about to go full time. Yep. So stay tuned for that, because these are pretty much one of the most exciting times for Srcful yet, I would say.
Yep. Definitely.
So I'm guessing the months now leading up to 2025 is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this autumn, and I'm getting my fingers warm now. I started coding a lot, and it's really fun. So building apps and things like that. So really exciting times. And Joachim, you should always remember that it's your energy,
your power.
Step into the neon lights. Let's take a ride into the grid where the future is alive. We're talking about the Web3 revolution, energy systems and a deep evolution. Yeah, it's a digital symphony, a decentralized energy in the world of connection. So Stock is our destination. Web3 fascination. Get ready for the revolution. Here we go.